welcome to Yes, Pero No. My name is Cristina Ferrero.
Y el mío es Joe Ferrero.
And this is episode number 12.
Ya son 12 ya.
Yes, ya son 12.
Oh my God. Parece que empezamos ayer, pero it's not.
No, we've got some interesting things to talk about, some funny topics, and yeah, some stuff that'll probably teach you a thing or two about what?
Or trigger you.
Or trigger you. We got some triggering comments
One
in some of our last videos, which is cool. We like to trigger emotions, so thank you guys for your comments.
If you want to make any kind of comments, lo puedes hacer aquí en el canal. This is a free channel. You can say whatever you want.
Yes.
So we're welcome. Welcome all the critics positivo y negativo. Lo que usted quiere decir.
Exacto, mientras que hablen. Eso es lo bueno.
That's the way to do it.
And don't forget to share our podcast with a friend. If you like and you subscribe to our channel, that helps us out so much to keep growing as a channel. So thank you guys for your support. We appreciate it. So what are we going to talk about first?
We're going to cover, first of all, we like to mention Randy Travis, one of the greatest country singers ever.
Yes.
And now with the new artificial intelligence creation, something incredible just happened.
Yes.
We want to share that with you guys.
Yes, we're going to talk a little bit about that. El señor Randy Travis, que es uno de los pioneros de la música country. Y ha pasado algo increíble, así que vamos a hablar de eso un poquito. También vamos a hablar de algo que yo usualmente no hablo mucho, pero como mujer me gusta mirarlo, me gusta ver los videos, los vestidos, quién tiene puesto qué. Y esto es en referente al MET Gala. Eso acaba de ocurrir, salió por todas las redes sociales, por televisión, en los canales de entretenimiento.
La bobería del año, that's what we call it.
Well, la bobería del año for people that don't like fashion, but...
Do you honestly think that was fashion? Okay, sigue.
Okay, but si no, we're going to talk about
you're going to get me activated.
No, what is the Met Gala? Who gets invited? Why do they wear all these outrageous clothes? And I'm not necessarily interested all that much in fashion, but as a girl, I like to see what people are wearing, just like I like the Miss Universe pageants and Miss USA, that kind of thing. You know, it's interesting to watch. So we're going to talk a little bit about that too.
We're also going to cover how we compare the Amazon indigenous people with our new generation.
Amazon, like in Besos?
No,
Amazon?
chica, no. The people that live in the rainforest. La gente se piensa ahora que Amazon.
No, imagínate tú. Tú dices Amazon y ya yo pienso en las cajitas que me llegan todos los días.
Let's not even go there. Que tengo el garaje, igual que mi hija. We have over, 5,000 boxes in there?
No, that's not true.
Yeah. Le voy a decir a mi hija que le tire una foto al garaje.
No.
Para que vea la cantidad de cajas que hay ahí.
Pero si el de ella no es el único.
Yeah.
Whatever. Otra cosa que vamos a hablar es de algo que ha surgido aquí en Georgia. Creo que es el único estado, o son otros estados donde están estos...
Chica, I don't know.
Ok, no voy a decir la palabra, porque la palabra que usamos nosotros los cubanos, the word that we use, us Cubans use for an insect in Spanish, sometimes can be a bad word for people in Puerto Rico or in other...
Really?
So I'm not going to say that, but we're going to talk about cicadas. Cicadas are a very interesting... and disgusting.
Oh, tú estás hablando de los bichos eso.
Te estoy diciendo que no lo voy a decir y lo sopla.
¿Qué cosa?
Esa palabra.
La palabra bicho.
Niño.
Bicho es un animal.
Para nosotros, pero para los boricuas no.
Bueno, pero...
Tienes que ser internacional.
Okay, anyway. Bueno, dos animalitos.
Yes.
They're very annoying.
They're disgusting.
Not disgusting. I would say they're very annoying, very loud. Y creo que salen...
I'm going to show you a picture of what the cicada looks like.
Yeah.
And how they shed their skin. And you let me know if they're disgusting or not. I just had chills. Just to think about it.
Hay gente que dice que se parecen a una cucaracha. I don't think so.
No.
I think they're kind of cute.
Bueno, ya hablaremos más de eso. ¿Qué más? El valor de las cosas. Vamos a tocar eso.
Yeah, we should, because
the value of things.
I think that in this new era that we live, es muy importante that the new generation especially learns the value of things, okay? Muy importante.
And last but not least, we are going to talk about favorite foods.
Esa me gusta.
That's my favorite subject. I love to talk about food. Food makes me happy.
A mí también.
Food is a social thing. We get together as a family with friends. We're going to talk a little bit about that and share with you guys what our favorite foods are. We want you guys to share with us as well what you enjoy the most. All right, let's get started. We're going to talk about Randy Travis. Randy Travis is one of the pioneers of country music. He really was the guy that everyone sees almost like like the father of country music when there has been like the country music awards or anything like that, which I love to watch because it's different than like the Grammys and that kind of thing. It's more like people are coming together like to celebrate each other. In that country world, it's a whole different ambiance than like the Oscars or the Grammys.
It's a real show, basically.
It's very beautiful, and
it is not
I
about
love to
los
watch.
escándalos and who's going to be standing behind the mic y decir dos o tres barbaridades.
Yeah, it's very family kind of
yeah.
oriented, the way that they treat each other. But anyway, Randy Travis, again, is kind of like one of the pioneers or one of the fathers of country music, where he started to do music and to sing songs that talked about like stories and that kind of thing, but with that modern type of feel. And the majority, you know, of country music, anybody that's in country music now respects Randy Travis so much. They actually, you know, gave him like a standing ovation and the whole thing in one of these last award shows because he's like an icon, really, in country music. 11 years ago, he had a stroke and he suffers from what is called aphasia now, and he has a very difficult time speaking. Thank goodness that he is still around and he was able to live through that, but his speech and his singing is very affected, so he's unable to do so. Well, I just found out, and I was sharing with Joe because Randy Travis is one of Joe's favorite country singers. I said, Joe, Randy Travis has a new song out. And he was like, how could that be?
Right.
That can't be. So I showed him this.
2 months ago, Warner Music gathered a small circle of fellow musicians in a recording studio. Randy sat with a Cheshire Cat's grin. And then they hit play.
She had eyes like diamonds.
Holy crap.
The reaction to his first song in more than a decade was a mix of joy and wonder.
Oh, but they were dark and deeper than the night.
For his wife, tears.
You forget how much you missed it until you meet again.
For Randy's country friends, like Grammy-winning superstar Carrie Underwood, there was confusion.
How?
For Cole Swindell, who just won 3 ACM awards,
I must have said to myself, it's a great big world.
it reminded him of why he became a country singer in the first place.
For y'all to let me hear it, that means a lot. Damn, I'm glad to hear you sing. Oh.
And veteran country star Clay Walker.
And there ain't no more where that.
He was simply over the moon. Even Randy's own family hadn't heard it until 2 weeks ago.
It's so weird to kind of explain like everything that goes through your head when you're listening to it.
Amazing. And then we saw this.
When it started to work, what was your first thought? It freaked me out.
And there ain't no more where that came from.
When I played it back, it was like, oh my. And I immediately thought, this might work. Then as I listened more and more and could start to dig into the nuance of it, realized that in order to really make it work, it was going to take a little bit more massaging.
And how would you describe that massaging? Was it note by note, phrase by phrase?
Yeah, it could be syllable by syllable. It's not about how it sounds, it's about how it feels.
So I will let my husband talk a little bit more about this kind of technology because it is incredible what they've been able to do.
Artificial intelligence is a great advancement for the human race. It is, if you apply it, the right way. And the way that they mastered this song was pretty much, the AI analyzed the tones and the inflections of Randy and try to imitate it. But as you can hear it, for the ones that know Randy Travis, you can tell, and in some parts that he will do some kind of different inflections when it comes onto the singing. So it is very close, but it's still not him. And that is what makes us unique. Mm-hmm. Even though artificial intelligence is capable of imitating us, almost to be perfect, like he was explaining, it's not just about the song, it's about the feeling. And that is what makes us different from a machine.
That's what made him different in country music too, and what he did to start that whole wave of what country music is now. Randy Travis is the one that started. Before, it was more like the banjo and hee-haw and that kind of thing. And then came Randy Travis. But I think it's just such a beautiful thing for someone like Randy. It would have been terrible if that stroke would have taken his life, right? But in the beauty of the fact that he's still here, it's got to be so difficult for someone like him that all that he did was make music, write music and sing and not be able to do so.
No, and to hear a song that it was not sang by him, how he hears it.
And he's enjoying it. I mean,
But how he will actually sing it.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure it will be different. It will be different. It will be delivered in a very different way. Why?
Course.
Because that's what humans are. We have feelings.
And I wonder, once that actually launches, is it going to be eligible for awards because it is created with AI? Who knows? It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah.
But I thought you guys would like to see something like that because it brings hope for people that, their talent has been muted for different conditions and disabilities that has happened along the way, So it's a beautiful sign of hope for people that are not able to speak or to sing, For someone like me that I have sang all my life and music is so important, or for you that you use your voice for radio, AI in that situation is amazing.
And let's talk about a little bit about, you just mentioned, the radio thing. Now there's been a couple of radio stations that they've been testing artificial intelligence DJs. And I have heard a couple of these testings that they've been done, and it's pretty scary because they actually can communicate, rather
effectively.
Fast. Yeah, the news that just came out through the internet, and the AI system has received it, has voiced it, in the system and is ready to be put out.
Launched. Does that mean that they're going to be saving on salaries because they're going to be having AI situations that get rid of DJs?
I don't know, but that's where what I believe that the human factor is going to come in.
Absolutely.
And it's going to make a difference. Like you call into a business today, right? All these big companies, and a lot of them, they use AI technology.
Yes.
They analyze, your questions. They analyze.
Or they say, state your name.
Your needs. The AI tries to find solutions for it.
Even like the pharmacy, you call for a refill.
Yeah.
It's a machine.
But at the end of the day, I do it all the time. I don't know about you guys, but I do it most of the time. I call it and they ask me, what is your problem? And I'll say, agent. And I say, please describe your problem. I keep saying, agent. I want to speak to an agent.
Press zero.
Yeah, and to
press
somebody.
Zero, I want a human being.
Yeah, I want to talk to a person.
Listen, there's no substitution for that human touch. Yeah. We talked about that before on the podcast, and I stand by it. If there's one thing that 2020 showed us, is that there's absolutely no substitution for human touch, human connection. Yeah. That is the ultimate. With somebody even that sells insurance, you can call a company and they can give you the quote. But when you have a good agent on the other line and they tell you, listen, don't worry about it. I got the perfect plan for you. It's this and this and this, and it's only this much. You hear their voice and it's like, that's it. I'm sold.
There's a level of flexibility with rules that humans have.
Yes.
Like, let's say in the future, and I have seen, many of these movies, you are driving your vehicle. There's a bunch of different artificial intelligent cameras all over.
Yes.
And then, they issue a ticket. If you took a red light, or if you didn't do the
That's
stop
been
sign
around
correctly,
for a while.
or whatever. Imagine you get stopped by a AI officer. The AI officer has a specific...
Like a robot?
Yeah, it's a specific instructions. They come out, they go to your car, let me have your driver's license or whatever. Even though you can explain to that officer what the situation is, right now, an officer has the discretion, okay, of giving you the...
Like just a warning or
whatever. They have an option.
If you have an emergency, your wife is in labor...
To give you a ticket. They have the option to give you a ticket or not.
Yeah.
Depending on how you react, sometimes how polite you are, how respectful you are, how aware of the mistake that you did. And I could say that most of the time, they let you go. But imagine if society becomes so strict
No.
that, the rules are the rules.
Well, like Terminator, or you've seen these police, like the robots and stuff like that in some cities that they already have with the mechanical dog.
Yeah, and it makes things very complicated. Imagine that, now taking it to the legal level where, let's say, you accuse of a crime and now you go to the federal court, or you go to the court and you have a machine analyzing rules and regulations, and it doesn't matter what the lawyer says.
Yeah.
The rules are the rules. You're going to end up, in jail.
I think if we have a good balance of both of the things that AI can help us with, for example, I have used it in my small business, even on describing the products that I sell. I can give it like 5 or 6 different bullets on what I want the description to say on a particular candle or a reed diffuser. And I put it into AI and it gives me the most perfect, beautiful wording on a description for a product that I'm like, damn, that sounds good. I couldn't have done it myself. I could tweak it here and there, but it just makes you feel like, wow, like it's a wow. So those things are so helpful.
They are.
So helpful.
They are.
That you're not saying the same thing over and over, repeating the same words. It's amazing.
Have you seen these robots already that they came out?
Yeah, I don't like them.
It's pretty scary.
Yeah, it's very scary.
It feels like the movie The Terminator.
Yes, it does.
And they are learning as they continue to, progress, as they continue moving forward and talking and analyzing and listening.
We have.
Crazy.
I don't think. Do you have it in here? Do you have her in here?
Which one? The what?
Her.
Do we have her? Yes, we do.
Okay, well.
I call her Maria, so we don't want to race.
Okay. It's Alexa, okay? Just, I don't want to say it because she'll get activated. But when Joe speaks to her and wants something in particular, she will hear his Spanish accent. As he speaks English, she will talk to him or answer him in Spanish.
That gets me so upset.
And he gets so upset.
She's discriminating me because I have
She's
an
not
accent.
discriminating. She's trying to understand you and to give you a service that is more attuned with who you are.
Alexa, do you really love me or not?
Sorry, I don't know that.
Exactly. That's what I say. So in our room, when he's like, play ocean sounds or whatever, he's like, perdón, no le entiendo lo que me está diciendo. And he's like, I just spoke in English. Anyway.
Pero ella está media sorda. Ella está media sorda because sometimes I give her a command.
Ella está sorda, no él.
No, ella está sorda porque yo le doy un command y ella me ignora.
Y cuando lo digo yo,
te oye.
Por la pronunciación, yo creo.
Really?
Bueno, ¿qué otra razón va a ser?
Alexa,
right.
I'm gonna burn you in the patio.
Sorry, I don't know that one.
She doesn't like any of those things that you have said.
I'm so sorry. Alexa, I really love you.
That's so nice of you to say.
Exacto. Quédate ahí. No te portes mal.
All right.
Bueno, mira, vamos ahora a entrar en el subject del Met Gala. I know a lot of these people, they dress really, really out there, and not all of you are interested in fashion, but you guys, this is so interesting and it is funny. And
I find it interesting to see.
It would be good for us to see
how
what
humans
they're doing.
actually behave con estas estupideces. Very interesting.
Exactly. The first thing that Joe showed me last night was this.
Mírame esto. It looks like I'm looking at a preview of a movie called Ghostbuster. Mira pues.
Folks, can we close the door, please? Back up a few so we can close the door, please.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Can you explain to the general public watching the channel and listening to us, what the hell is this fashion show about?
Okay.
¿Y por qué hacen estas estupideces? That's what I would like to
Met
learn.
Gala is an official Costume Institute exhibition that is on display at the Metropolitan Museum of Art. It's called Sleeping Beauty's Reawakening Fashion, but the dress code and general theme of the Met Gala is the Garden of Time. So it is basically a costume exhibition.
Es como una fiesta de Halloween.
Es una fiesta, and there's a theme every year. You have to be invited in order to go. There is a combination of people in the music business, of actors, of people that are big in business per se or in fashion. So it's not just one or the other. There used to be, like last year and before, there used to be a lot of people that were influencers. And supposedly, what I hear, un chismecito, is that they said, you know, a lot of the A-listers, the actors or the musicians were like, we don't want these influencers here. You know, we don't want that. I think that they were getting a lot of attention because of social media. And they said, that's not what we want. We want to just come, dress up, and have a good time. Solo había one that I know of influencer there, okay? The theme was the Garden of Time. So what you do is you try to get something extraordinary, some kind of dress or a tuxedo or whatever it is that you're going to wear that is going to have something to do with a garden. Entonces, in that video that we just saw, when Joe showed it to me and says, what the hell is this? This is supposedly his Bad Bunny. He's under these white sheets trying to get into a car. I said, Joe, you don't understand. All of these people go out of their way to get into...
Yo pensaba que él, como yo no conozco nada de esto, y entonces dijeron que él era ahora el rey del pop. Entonces I remember that Michael Jackson hacía todas estas cosas raras. So dije, oh, he's trying to imitate now Michael Jackson. Ahorita se aparece con un mono en un evento. So
No. Yeah. He was trying to cover his look because you're supposed to display the look when you get to the event. So all of them will cover their look or they will look differently, okay, in another outfit. And then they get in this huge, what looks like this black bus that they can stand up in and they will change in there. But if they already have a dress on or their outfit, they'll cover themselves. For example, I'll show you Karol G and how she got there, which
Ella también se vistió así raro.
She was the one that really, what she did for covering up her outfit, I loved. She had an umbrella y tenía una cortinita, mira.
Sí, parece una lámpara.
Oye, eso está perfecto because no estás messing up your hair. Okay, that was Karol G.
So she dressed up como una lámpara.
No, she did not. She dressed up and she was under that thing until she got there. ¿Ve?
Okay, but that's a nice dress.
Yeah, it's a nice dress.
Wearing.
Pero she didn't show it on the street or outside of her hotel until she got to the event, and that's where she showed it.
Pero that's a beautiful dress. You know, that's a nice way of dressing up.
Yes.
Pero ahorita pusiste
but
una
if you see, look at her ears. ¿Ve? She's like a fairy. She's got pointy ears.
Okay, I understand that.
Okay, so that's what she did to get there. Let me show you some of the other looks.
Como una manita de un elf.
Check out the most awkward Met Gala moments that will make you cringe. Kim Kardashian was seen gasping for air in an extremely disturbing corset.
It's uncomfortable to watch how she's struggling to breathe and even like to just do basic movements.
Cardi B
First of all, her
required the
corset.
help of 9 men to move around the venue.
How does it feel to have 7
Y este que
people
tiene un
helping
panal
you
de
with
abeja en la
dress?
cabeza.
It makes me feel like, yeah, I'm that bitch and you bitches could never.
Tula, in a dress made of sand, couldn't get up the stairs without assistance as well.
Her dress is made out of sand.
Basically, the sands of time.
Eddie Redmayne pushed the gender boundaries in fashion by showing up in a skirt.
So basically, the whole thing with the Garden of Time and all of that, this one girl was wearing a dress that just looked exactly like sand. The other one, Lana Del Rey, which she's a singer, she had like these branches coming out of her head.
Ah, la que parecía un árbol, yeah.
La que parecía un árbol. Esto, déjame ver, ¿qué más te puedo enseñar? Kim Kardashian tenía la cintura tan apretada que se veía como que she was having trouble breathing.
She looked like a wasp.
And then she put on this little sweater on top que no tenía nada que ver with her dress, and everybody's asking, did she have a dress malfunction or what happened to her?
Es como un Halloween party.
Parece como si fuera un Halloween party.
Y le ponen otro nombre.
Aquí este TikTok en particular es básicamente rating lo que es los vestidos only with a sound. Aquí van a ver a Zendaya. Zendaya used to be a Disney Channel actress. Now, you know, she's all grown up. She's been on different series. She was the co-chair, okay, meaning she was one of the people that like spoke and stuff like that. Bad Bunny was, and J-Lo was as well. Now, J-Lo, Jennifer Lopez, have had so many issues in social media hating on her for the movie, that documentary thing that she made,
La pobre,
and
¿verdad?
the things that she said, and people have just been hating left and right. but she really looked very, very beautiful. Her hair was kind of like a messy bun, and people are criticizing her. Of course, they criticize everything, but she did look beautiful. She never fails to impress. This is Zendaya. I don't even know who this is.
Run.
Sí, definitivamente. Run. ¿Qué es eso?
Looks like a nun.
That looks freaky.
That was Bad Bunny with his little black flowers.
¿Y este está
That's
vestido
kind
de
of
qué?
cool.
De Time Machine.
Okay, now I'm going to show you. If I were to choose one dress out of the night, the most beautiful, the most gorgeous, and I had no idea who this person was. It is the most spectacular dress, the way that she looked in it, what the dress actually did. It was incredible. Let me show you guys.
Pero en vez de decirle un fashion show, ¿por qué no le llaman un costume party?
Well, because they're not in a costume.
Porque
it's
es que-
actually fashion, and the different
Pero, Cristina,
designers make it.
Yeah,
So
pero
it's not that.
Who's
It's
gonna
fashion.
show up to a party vestido así?
Well,
Never.
there's a lot of crazy stuff in Hollywood that they do, you know? Anyway, this lady, she is a business person. She's very well off, and I had never heard of her in my life. Her name is Mona Patel, and to me, she was the best dressed. Look at her dress,
Mona
guys.
Patel.
Look at this. Now, she had actual butterflies that were mechanical on her arms that would open and close. And look at this dress. That was
Sí, pero
unbelievable.
eso es
Look at
arte.
this. Look
Pero
at this.
eso es arte.
That's
is-
fashion.
Yeah. Ahí sí
I
agree
gotta
with
play
you.
it again. Look at that.
Wow.
Now that's gorgeous. Look at that.
That's beautiful.
Okay? So these are the kind of things that girls like to see and say, oh my God, Mona Patel, who is Mona Patel? You know, she has a bunch of followers and all of that. And she went, and honestly,
For example,
she stole the show.
But let's say you get invited to a party, right? And you show up with that, you will be like, you know.
Well, but it's a theme.
La
This is
gente
a
va a
theme.
decir, wow. Pero if you get invited to a house, right? Y tú te apareces vestida de árbol like that lady was, te van a decir, pero esta mujer está loca.
Pero
that's not fashion.
That's what this is about. It's like, look, I want to show you also one of my favorite looks of the Met Gala, and I'll show you guys. Celine Dion, back in the day, she wore a gorgeous look, and it was just extraordinary. Oh my gosh, here it is, the one that I was looking for.
She looks like a peacock.
And look at the dog. She's trying to imitate Celine.
That's cute. Sí, hay vestidos de esos que I find there's a lot of creativity behind it.
Yeah, I like it. I like that,
Pero
that
otras
out
cosas
of this
son
world.
estupideces
O si
que-
parecen pavos reales o los colores así subidos. Algunos, they're totally trash and they look terrible.
Imagínate vestirte de latón de basura, una cosa así.
Bueno, sí.
Hey, you
Nos
want to be
gusta
unique,
criticar.
right?
We like to criticize a heck of a lot. But I need to show you guys, and maybe we should talk about something.
Mira, te puedes vestir de escoba y te metes el palo en el...
Mira, Ferrero, tú no hablaría, ¿ok? Porque yo te dije, tú estás criticando, y yo te dije a ti, Ferrero, cámbiate por lo menos la camisa
Ajá.
para poder hacer el podcast de hoy y grabarla.
¿Y qué problema tiene esta camisa?
Ferrero,
Mira,
tú estabas afuera
in God
cortando
we
la...
trust.
You were cutting the grass outside.
¿Y qué tiene que ver
Y
que hago?
está esto medio manchado, sucio. It looks muggy. I mean, I don't know. It looks like it's got dirt on it.
Doesn't have any dirt.
You didn't fix your beard. You didn't freshen up for the podcast for our people.
Pero ¿qué tiene que ver que estuviera cortando la hierba allá afuera with this?
Because you look like acabaste de recoger trash instead of dressing up and looking
First of
your
all,
best for our podcast
Yo
viewers.
no acabo de pick up any kind of trash.
Okay, let me show you what Ferrero was doing outside. Because, you know, él dice que no, pero sí.
I was not picking up any kind of trash.
You were cutting the grass and all this dirt and grass was getting on you. And you have like another tinge. Like you're usually tan, but now you're like a little darker. And I think eso es de la tierra que tienes en la cara y en los brazos. Mira esto. Miren esto, lo que él estaba haciendo. I had to take video to show you guys because I knew that he was not going to change. Mira para eso. Cortando hierba. Estuvo horas allá afuera en eso. Y así mismo, ni se cambió la camisa. Eso no se hace. Y estás criticando a la gente del Met Gala.
Pero eso es vestirse normal for the occasion.
Niño, pero por lo menos te hubieras bañado, te hubieras arreglado. Mira para allá.
Y la gente me va a oler aquí en la...
Te estoy oliendo yo. Mira, hablando de todo un poco. Cuando te estaba tomando este video, se veían los cicadas flying around. Habla de los cicadas. ¿Por qué están aquí? Es aquí nada más que están. Habla un poquito de eso.
I seen them before, and I believe I was visiting Caracas, Venezuela back in the days where I heard that animal for the first time, and they were bigger, and they're called chicharras. And they sound, I think they sound louder than the ones
I don't think they can be any louder than
Anyway, this thing, they're supposed to help the soil, como que lo ayuda a moverse, ¿no? To move. And it helps also animals because when they die or when they are alive, they get eaten by other animals because they have a lot of protein. But they create this really high-pitched sound que it's piercing.
I cannot be outside. They are native of Georgia, the cicadas.
Bueno, I think they last only 3 to 4 days.
This is what they look like. They have the most beady little eyes. Gross. They look like palmetto bugs, like flying cockroaches. And then they shed their skin really grossly.
That's one of them in my shop.
Oh, my Lord Jesus.
You see it?
Yes, I do. Ay, Jesucristo, Padre Santísimo.
Pero hay muchos de ellos, and they're not that big. I think some way, somehow, they're kind of cute.
Okay, they are not cute.
The sound, it's very loud. It's high-pitched sound. It's almost unbearable to be outside when they are making this sound. Oigan esto. I mean, this is crazy.
Extremely
It
loud.
almost sounds like a nuclear plant.
I never been into a nuclear plant. Have you been?
Like electricity. Y no paran. Por el día, por la noche. El día entero. So these cicadas, they just got here, I want to say, like 2 weeks ago.
They last 3 to 4 weeks. They make the sound to mate. And once they mate, I don't know where they're going to be laying their eggs or how the reproduction cycle is. But then they go back into the ground. And I don't think they don't come back until 14 years. That is kind of crazy.
They only make their presence known when it emerges from the ground. At such times, usually under the cover of darkness, annual cicadas appear in mind-boggling numbers. As many as 1.5 million per acre have been recorded.
Per acre? Mm-hmm. So imagínate tú aquí.
However, typically, their numbers range from 10 to hundreds of thousands per acre. They usually come out every summer.
Oh, they do? Every summer?
They emerge every 13 or 17 years.
Ah, okay.
Georgia hosts only one brood of 13-year cicadas. However, 3 broods of 17-year cicadas have been identified in the Peach State.
Qué locura.
Yeah, it's really disgusting. Hopefully they'll be leaving soon in the next couple of weeks porque honestamente estar afuera y con el calor que hay, que si tienes piscina o lo que sea.
The chickens are having fun with them.
Yeah, bueno, los chickens are eating them.
Yeah, that's good protein.
So disgusting.
Free food. Okay, so let's move into the topic of the value of things. How do we value things?
I mean, the way that I value things is if I feel a need for them, that I need them in my life, that to me has a very high value. So it could be food, my family. Why did I say food first? My family, food, my home, you know.
Your car.
My car. Well, yeah. Things that you actually need to live, water, electricity, that kind of thing has a high value.
So the value is something that is independent.
What do you mean?
Value is based on your personal feeling of it.
Well, for me personally. But in general, the world has given value to certain things.
Based on what?
And has generalized it. I don't know. You tell me.
Based on demand, for example.
Right.
If an object has a...
pinchar con esto.
¿Pero por qué me vas a pinchar?
No sé, me dio gana.
No, if someone wants something or a lot of people want something, then the value of that particular something will go up.
Like gas.
Like gasoline or food or shelter or cars or whatever. So we value things, depending on the demand of it. Now, in the personal level, in your personal, world, we value things depending on our needs or our way of looking at them. Like you mentioned the family, you mentioned your home. For example, I highly value health.
Oh, yes. Health is up there. If you don't have health, you don't have anything.
No, I think that will be the first one that I highly value. So what are the things that people should highly value? One of them should be health. The other one would be companionship, friendship,
yes,
relationships, love. And then the third one, would be like food and shelter and all of the above. Even though there's a level of importance that they pretty much fall in. But in general, there's a lot of stuff that people value that es ridículo.
Sí.
Es completamente ridículo. O sea, what is the difference between the watch that I have now, which is a Citizen watch, and a Rolex, for example? What is the function of a clock? You know,
to tell time.
Yeah, just to give you the time.
Yeah.
You know, when I look at this watch, it's going to give me the same time que me va a dar un Rolex.
Bueno, pero también
o me va a dar
la calidad del reloj, uno a lo mejor te lo puedes poner, go underwater.
And one is made out of gold, the other one is made out of steel.
Se echa a perder si se moja. The value also has to do with quality.
Okay, so I agree with you to a certain point.
For me, for example, a lot of women love shoes and to have a lot of shoes. For me, comfort is number one. It's not the high heel. It's not how beautiful the shoe is. I like nice shoes, but I can have a very beautiful shoe and it's so uncomfortable I cannot wear it.
So the value of
everybody
things
values things differently.
Also has to do with the way that society perceives
Absolutely
the value that you're putting into it. So now we're talking about from an individual valuing something to a collective, societal, way of seeing things.
Yes.
Like if you wear una camisa give me a name of a brand. I don't know much about shirt brands. Que sean,
Armani, de hombre, no sé.
Una camisa de Armani, and then you have a Rolex, and then you have a Ferrari, and then you live in a kind of a mansion, but that would be considered a successful person, right? But does that really have any kind of value to that person? Not really, because all depends on the level of acceptance.
Well, also, do you own it?
Society.
Do you own it or do you owe it?
Bueno, también, I mean, if we're going to go
Porque
into...
si tú tienes todas esas cosas and you still, owe the bank for all of it, then it's very stressful. And as far as the value, it's like, just take it for God's sakes.
You value it because it gives you recognition in front of other people. And people see you as like, oh, this guy must be rich or this girl must be rich because they have these things. So the way that I want to be able to compare value in the level of we see ourselves in society is depend on the way that we look. So let's go into the rainforest, to the Amazon rainforest. Okay, there is indigenous people that live there.
Yeah.
Okay, I believe there's two groups. One of them, it's called, and it's going to sound very funny. Just promise me that you're not going to laugh.
I cannot make any promises.
Well, anyway, this group of indigenous people that live in the rainforest, and the Amazon rainforest, not the Amazon, la gente que te llenan el garaje de caja.
I love Amazon.
There's two groups. One of them is called Yanomamo, okay? And the other one is...
Espérate, ¿cómo se llama?
Yanomamo.
No, they don't.
Yes.
That's not their name.
Yes, they are. They call Yanomamo, as you can see. And the other one is Kayapo. I'm sorry, Kayapo. Yanomamo and Kayapo. So now when you see this indigenous people and you see the guy with the eagle feathers, and his hat.
Is he part of Yanomamo?
Yeah, Yanomamo. You see this indigenous person, right? With the eagle feathers.
Would you have those? Would that be you?
Pero chica, déjame terminar.
Ay, coño.
When you see this guy with the eagle feathers and his face painted in a certain way because he won some wars or whatever, you see that this guy is the head of the group, right? So we do exactly the same thing. There's no difference between those people and us now. The difference is that they live in the rainforest and we live in the concrete jungle. We put ourselves in the higher standard because we drive that expensive car, we have the expensive clothes, we have the expensive watch, we go to the expensive restaurants, we own expensive homes, but at the end of the day, that gives us the status in our society. But in reality, we are slaves of everything that we own. We are slaves of the payment of the watch, of the car, of the home, of that. These people are not. That is the difference between them and us. Que siendo ellos from the rainforest should be the ones that están struggling to survive. And they just don't. They really own everything that they have. They own the rainforest. They own the way of living. They own...
I think the way that they sleep, because it's very wet over there, and the way that they sleep, they just have hammocks that are hanging from trees, and under them is water.
Well, whatever kind of lifestyle they have, they're not a slave of it. They work at it because they need to go hunt to be able to eat, but they live in a society where they're not a slave. We belong to a system that we have created, a slavery system to please ourselves.
a lot of people...
In Spanish, it's called...
Ya no mamo.
Somos dueños de lo que somos esclavos.
Para mí, no es tener una mansión or, have an expensive car or to have all this money in the bank. I love our way of living where, you're picking up organic eggs from our yard every day. We live a simpler life. We're not worried about what cocktail do we have to go to. Like in Miami, when we were in Miami, it was about el que dirán. What are people going to say? What am I wearing? I can't go without makeup to not even the market. I can't irme chancleteando, with flip-flops to Walmart or, stuff like that I love doing. I don't want to be...
But you don't have any freedom then. That's what you're saying. Because of the society.
I didn't have that freedom. Here, I feel like I do because people are not constantly looking at what are you wearing? What kind of watch do you have on? Here, where we are at, or at least here in Georgia. Why are you pointing again with that?
Well, because you were, a few minutes ago, you were criticizing me because I was going to do a podcast.
No, but that's different.
And people were going to be looking
because
at you.
Because you look dingy and dirty. I don't like for you to look dingy and dirty. I want you to look your best.
Pero if
if you're wearing another t-shirt that looks like that, but it's clean. It's not full of dirt.
Okay, pero en este momento, because I was cutting the grass.
You're still cute, though.
I happened to be coming into the podcast, and there's nothing wrong with it. You know why there's nothing wrong with it? Because this makes me happy. I'm okay with it. So you should be able to accept me the way that I am.
Well, I know, but the same way that we are criticizing people at the Met Gala because they're wearing trees on their head.
But baby, that's a different thing.
They are being criticized, and we all get criticized.
I find that extremely weird hasta que tú me explicaste que es como un costume party. But I thought it was a fashion thing, and if it's a
fashion thing.
But if it's a fashion thing, like I said, that's something that you promote so people to wear, and nobody's going to show up to a party.
Not that kind of
exactly.
fashion.
Entonces no es un fashion.
No.
Es un Halloween party.
Well, not
fashion
Halloween.
is something that you promote, and then later on people want to wear it because they feel proud of it and think that it's nice.
I've always been like that. Like I take pride in, making sure that you're wearing clean clothes, that you look nice, and you always do.
Échate para adelante un momentico, échate para adelante.
Ay, Dios.
De verdad que ya me tienes ya cansado con esto.
¿Qué vas a hacer?
Vas a ver como el fashion ahora mismo.
No.
Se va a cambiar.
Ay, Dios, se va a cambiar la camisa. Joe, we're at the end of the podcast.
Bueno, mejor. Ya me quité la camisa. Okay.
Mira qué bonito te ve. Aunque yo sé que estás sucio, pero por lo menos la presentación estás más decente.
Mira, ya.
You look much more decent. Look at how cutie.
Yeah.
You see, it's not this dingy, dirty t-shirt. It makes a difference. You have to look presentable. People are going to love you anyway. I adore you anyway.
Entonces, ¿cuál es el big deal que yo tenía puesto esa camisa?
Que no quiero que te veas así todo sucio.
Whatever.
See how cute he looks?
Anyway.
Esto tiene un hueco aquí.
Sí.
Ooh.
Let's go into one of our favorite subjects.
Yes.
La comida.
The hama.
What are your favorite foods?
Well, if I have to say my favorite of all time is arroz y frijoles. Like beans and rice. I love black beans and rice, red beans and rice.
Doesn't matter.
I love it because it reminds me of home. That Cuban, frijoles, that's my thing.
So why don't we just talk about your comfort foods?
My comfort foods, that would be it. I also love something like if you prepare like a tray of like manchego cheese and cantimpalo and little crackers, and having some cocktails. I can enjoy that
Como
very,
tapas.
very much.
That's pretty much.
Como tapitas. I love that. I love cheesy Mexican food. I love that stuff. And also chips and salsa and a nice margarita. I like that. And I love pasta. Pasta is delicious too, especially when it's cheesy.
My comfort foods are number one.
Meat.
Chocolate.
No, chocolate, imagínate.
Chocolate, I constantly ask my coworkers and my employees for chocolate. Constantly.
We gotta be buying it then so you can take it.
Los molesto constantemente. I go to the secretary, I go to front desk, I go to everywhere.
Like a little rat.
Los vendedores. There's a guy actually that works at the radio station, and in the sales department, the cubicles are open. They don't have a door. The only one that have a door with a lock is me. And when they're not there, I pass by. No, but they already know it's me. And I have to confess, there's been a couple of times.
We gotta buy chocolate.
I went overboard.
You ate a lot?
No, I actually violated their privacy.
How?
Le abrí la gaveta.
And you took it?
Yeah, but I found something else besides el chocolate.
What did you find?
Otro dulce, another kind of dulce that they had there. Que era como un tres leche or something like that.
He's addicted to sugar.
I'm not addicted to sugar. I just like sugar.
Just say it. Just say it.
No, I'm not addicted to
what we
sugar.
need to do, instead of going to eat, well, we can go to eat. We need to go to the grocery store and buy chocolate, and you need to take a container, and you need to replace some of this stuff. Because you're going like a little rat everywhere, and you're stealing candy from people.
Well, it's been like 2.5 years doing
Well,
that.
you need to start buying it and taking it. I didn't know you were doing this.
Okay. Well, anyway, I love chocolate. It could be chocolate milk. It could be Hershey chocolate. Any kind of chocolate. Mira, es más, my family, Ferrero Rocher family, which they
wish that were your
they
family.
They don't know. Yeah, they actually don't know
That they're your family?
I'm one of their missing link. You know, the Ferrero, please.
Well, you need to go to like 23andMe or, one of those things and sign up.
Yeah, I definitely need to let them know que yo soy parte de ancestry de ellos. Anyway, I just want chocolate. I don't want nothing else.
I love chocolate too.
One of my comfort foods, I'll say, and it reminds me when I was a kid. I actually have a friend that I used to share that special moment. Carlos Mabang, that's his name. That used to live in the same...
You said that like a true Cuban. Carlos Mabang.
Yeah, he used to live in the same street that I grew up in. We used to have a cornflake party. I used to get a big bowl full of cornflakes, put the milk on.
He still does.
I used to do that back in the days, and I do that as a comfort food too.
Okay, you know those sterling silver bowls that you use like to mix like cake batter or something like that, like a salad? He uses those big ones for his cereal.
Me encanta. I really
That's what
like
he
that.
does.
The other one that I really enjoy is arroz, bistec, and fried
platanito.
plantains. That is like...
With the caramelized onions.
Yeah, but the way that you do it, the way that you make
It's
it.
yummy.
Which is
my
very
palomilla steaks are famous.
Right, palomilla steak, which is so hard here in Georgia to find that kind of...
that cut.
Yeah, cut of meat.
But we've managed.
Yeah, but it's really hard, and meat has gone so expensive. Está fuera de control la cuestión de la carne. So, but mainly what I'm eating now is lamb.
He makes delicious soups. And you know what? I want to get into making more soups. I love soups, and I don't make enough of them.
Oh, my daughter's doing this incredible bread.
Sourdough.
Oh, my God. Que pan más. And is that healthy to eat that kind of bread?
It is very healthy because it actually has, and I told her, it has lactobacillus, which it has, the good bacteria for your gut.
I didn't know that.
Yes,
but
it sure
so
does.
it's healthy.
It's very healthy.
Okay, so I'll eat more of that bread. And
you know what's great? The combination of bread or a croissant with chocolate. Have you had that?
Yes, I have.
Oh my God, con un café con leche or un coffee. Cheese. I'm telling you. I've lost a few pounds now, but my soul will always be the gordita because I love food.
You know what is weird? That even though yo no soy una persona overweight, I consider myself a foodie. I love food. And I don't think I will do well with a diet.
No, you don't do well.
I mean, I'm very grateful.
We did a cleanse one time,
Mira,
remember?
muchacha.
We did a cleanse.
Explain to the people what a cleanse is.
Well, no, this particular cleanse is basically you were just on this liquid that was filled with vitamins and nutrients and stuff, but you were supposed to not eat for 2 days and just drink this about 4 or 5 times a day.
Como dicen los
drink a
dominicanos.
lot of water.
Mira, tú estás loco.
Mira, Ferrero se puso como un loco. At the end of day 1, él estaba hangry, pero hangry que había que amarrarlo. Le dije, mijo, come porque no hay quien te resista.
Well, I do a lot of fasting on a daily basis.
No, but that's not the same.
Okay, let me explain, please. ¿Por qué me cortas? No he explicado. It is fasting in longer than what you have. Con ese palito no vas a hacer nada. Yes, I go to sleep like around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, depends on the day. And then I don't eat hasta las 6:30 de la mañana. And sometimes I only have black coffee, okay? It has happened many times. And I don't eat desde la noche all the way up to 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Sí, pero no, ya by that time te estás muriendo.
Pero that has been a fast for me, and I've done that many times, which is, I don't think it's healthy, because the only problem that I do have is that I don't drink a lot of water.
Yeah.
Pero bueno, going back into the favorite foods or comfort foods, I would say. La otra cosa que me gusta también a mí es el barbecue. Me encanta muchísimo el barbecue. More of the actual journey of it, like getting it ready and the smell of the wood and all that.
The grill.
Yeah, it's just that, and listening to the music and drinking wine. Me fascina mucho ese ambiente. I think that I'm able to disconnect with that. I love the experience of eating the food, pero esa parte I really enjoy it.
In my case, la comida, la que más me gusta, usualmente la hago yo. And all the other stuff, I like to go out to eat. I know that probably if you look at your bills and you say, okay, ¿en qué me estoy gastando más dinero? What am I spending the most money on? Besides your regular bills and utilities and all that is food.
We spend
so
a lot
it's
of money
unfortunate,
on food,
but
yeah.
I love to go out to eat. There are days that we cook a lot here in the house. And there are days that, you're like, no, I just need to eat food from the house. I don't want to eat out. We're limited a bit on the restaurants that are available. We kind of have to go out of the city to find more variety, but I love to go out. It's just fun. You don't have to make a mess in the kitchen. You don't have to do the dishes. You get waited on. It's a social thing, especially when you go out with friends. We love to go out to eat. That's probably one of our favorite things.
Yeah, but you're very picky when it comes onto food.
Now I'm pickier.
But
yeah,
for example, I will eat stuff that she will never eat. Por ejemplo, I could eat sardines.
No. That's not going to happen.
Yeah. I can eat squid.
No.
She will not eat that.
No.
What else do you don't eat? Oh, mushrooms. A mí me encantan los mushrooms.
I used to love mushrooms. I used to love them, but
fried como si fueran un bistec.
Something happened along the way with portobello mushrooms, and me dio algo.
Well, it was something that Jessie, our daughter, cooked one day in a pasta.
And
from that moment, you never, it's something that triggered you. That,
I don't like it. He likes lamb. I don't like to eat lamb, and he makes it delicious.
Lamb.
No me gusta.
Yeah.
En ese sentido, salía mi mamá un poco mona con la comida.
Yeah. There's a lot of flavor, Spanish kind of flavor foods que a ti no te gusta. For example, I will eat rabbit. Rabbit, me encanta rabbit. I never ate spicy stuff, but it's been 3 years since I started with my Mexican homies acá en mi emisora de radio. Me enseñaron.
Yeah.
And then now I actually crave it.
You enjoy it?
I even add it to the pizza.
I like it like with chips,
Yeah.
But in general, like a pasta that's really spicy or chicken that's really spicy, it's not my favorite. I'm a baby when it comes to spicy.
Bueno, I never had, and I know that maybe this has nothing to do with the food, but I wanted to share with you guys my experience hablando de este tipo de comida because I've never been too much into the Mexican food you have.
Oof. I love it.
But let me tell you.
Since I was a kid, I remember my parents taking me to a very delicious place. I think se llamaba Don Juan or something like that. And to be honest with you, I've never been able to have such delicious food as that time in my life.
Yeah, but the problem that I had was, it was not that I did not like Mexican food. What I didn't like is the commercial version of the Mexican food.
Like a Taco Bell or something?
Once I moved here to Georgia and I started working with my friends, at work, my employees that they are Mexican, and they started bringing me real Mexican food. Yo dije,
made at home?
Ahora sí, tú ves. That it's a very different flavor.
Also, the way that they cook their meat, like on the grills and stuff like that you do enjoy. When we go to a good restaurant that makes, like good fajitas or a good steak or something like that, he enjoys
No, aquí in Georgia, there's a lot of good restaurants,
yes.
Mexican restaurants que cocinan, with the ingredients that they actually use in Mexico.
Yes.
Because we come from Miami, and Miami, hay unos cuantos lugares, pero...
No, pero es más commercialized.
Yeah, and then we also learn about, que se me hace la boca agua, some of the juices that they make. We started making 2 different kinds of juice that we never had before. One of them was tamarindo.
El jugo de tamarindo.
That you do it, and it's very well. And the other
delicious.
one, the red one, it's...
Flor de Jamaica.
Flor de Jamaica. And those are like... Flor de Jamaica is so refreshing.
Y es bueno, creo que para bajar la presión alta. It's very, very good. Y el jugo de tamarindo, buenísimo.
And then they also use, different kinds of spices. Recently, I ate a chicken that they made it with mole. And mole is a kind of sauce that is made, of course, that's why I love it, with chocolate. But it's not completely sweet because honestly, I can't remember the amount of seasoning that it has. It has a lot of ingredients, and they mix this with that chocolate thing y se lo pone, and I'm like, oh,
déjame ver si encuentro algo de una señora.
A shout out to Stephanie y Jose Espinosa that work with me, and they have brought me some of this Mexican food that it's wow, it's amazing, it's incredible. Pruébenlo, si no lo han probado, pruébenlo, les va a encantar.
Hay una señora que yo vi que ahora no lo encuentro aquí. Esta mujer yo creo que tiene como 110 años. No lo veo aquí.
Mamá Pía.
No, tiene como 110 años y la mujer lo que come todos los días de su vida es chocolate. Pero ella desde niña la enseñaron de preparar el chocolate de la planta del cacao, del the actual fruit, que lo abre y lo hace. I know, but I couldn't find it here.
If you can do an insert, I guess, and then you can put it full screen.
I don't know. I don't know if I'll find it or not. But anyway, I am ready to go eat and let's go buy some chocolate.
Chica, me parece que that's a very, very smart
But we need
thing
to buy
do.
different types of chocolate.
Pero ¿qué es lo que vamos a comer first?
Whatever you want.
That means whatever she wants.
No. Guys, thank you so much for being here with us. We have enjoyed it. We hope you have too. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.
Comment.
Yes, comment below. Let us know what is your favorite food.
Or anything else.
Anything else. Whatever you want. But we love being here with you guys. So thank you so much. We'll see you again next week.
Y yo voy a comer.
Vamos a comer chocolate.
Ay, qué rico chocolate.
¡Mua! Los amamos.